Okay, so I always wanted to do some videos on C++ and today I have a chance to do it. Let's just get it. So in this series of video, I'm gonna do some sort of disasters in C++, not any tutorials on C++. We are gonna talk about our mistakes we do and these are very common mistakes we do, and these mistakes are so much horrible that we have to pay our time to debug it, and these debugging hours are like, oh my god, it's like hell, and we just don't want to get to the hell. So let's just get in. And the first disaster we have is here. We use point array as pointers whenever we want to use. We don't think anything, we start using it because why not? We have this habit from our ancestor, the C language, and we should stop using it now because it's a disaster. Let me show you. Okay, so we have this main function. Now this main function is something like this. It has an array that contains the 5 elements. Okay, then we have the print function. This print function just have two things. Okay, the two things are the first one is the argument having like a pointer, and the second one is the length of the array that we just passed it, and then it just then what it does, it just goes through that array and prints everything. That's fine, it should be, and that is what it is. So this is what this program is, and this program seems to be good, and actually it is. So let me just compile it. It compiles. Let me just run it. It just prints what we wanted to have, but yeah, everything is fine, everything is working good, there is no problem. So what I was talking about, I was talking about the problems. I have not gotten anything, but here it is. You are. Okay, so if you are doing this kind of program every time without thinking anything, the case scenarios are not simple like that, but you are not gonna improve yourself. You are gonna get to the hell anytime. So for demonstrating what I was saying is simple, let me just create some sort of classes. So my plan is to create two classes. The first one is gonna be a person class, that's like the base class. Person will have a name and I will just print the name. The second one is the student class. A student class will have like derived class of the person class, and it will have a extra roll number, and then I will just print the student class, and then we'll play with the pointer of these two classes and let's see what happens. Okay, so let's start creating the person class. So the person class is simple. We are gonna have a simple name. So let's start with the name, and then we are gonna have some member functions and constructors. So let's start with the constructor. So the constructor would be like the first constructor would be, and first and the only constructor would be with the name. Okay, so we just initialize it. That's it. Now the second thing we can have is something called get name and stuff like that, like just for formality. And what we can do is we can have this const identifier, so that we can say that it is not changing any member function because it's good, it's a good habit, and let's just play with the good habits also. Okay, it just returns the name. That's very simple. Now the third one is a print function. What print function does, it just prints the information about the class. So this is the person class. What the information we need to print is the name simply. So that's it. Now our person class seems to be ready, but it's not. Apparently it's like complete, but let's say student want to print its information. Then what happens? Now in that case, again it has to rely and on the person class and only print the name, but student have the extra attribute named roll number. Then how can it print it? So for that thing, by intuition we know that we should start using the virtual function. So virtual function, what it does, it gives the copy of the person. Like if you are using person, then you will use this print function, and if you are using your student class, then you will use its own print function, and how it implements it using a virtual table. I'm not gonna it's not a tutorial video, so I'm not gonna say any tutorial. So how you can use what's virtual table, how you can use virtual function and stuff like that. So let's just get out of it. Let's just start coding the student class. So this is a student class. We have a student class and it inherits the person class. So a simple inheritance, okay. And as I talked about, we are gonna have a roll number, okay. So that attribute is here, and then we are gonna have some sort of I can say constructors. So let's start with the simple constructor, okay. The simple constructor will have a name and again a roll number. Now it's a derived class, so what we should do, we should first initialize our base class. So we initialize our base class with name, then our roll number with the roll number, and that's it. Now we can also have this get roll number, something like that, okay. And yeah, we have this get roll number, and then by intuition, because we know that the print function of student should also print the roll number, so we will also override it, okay. Okay, we just override it. Now what we can do is simply we can just print out the name, that's like the same thing, and then the other thing can be roll number, okay. So the roll number, and yes, that's it. And also I think so print function in here can be const, and because it is const in here and it's a overridden function, so we can also add this override identifier. So that's it. So now we have the student class ready. It seems to be good, and it's good. Like everything we have the person class with the name, student class with the person as the base class, and the roll number as the extra attribute, and that's it. Now let's get started with some sort of playing with the pointers and things like that. So if we want to play with the pointers, we should have a function. Let's just get with a function. I will have a function named print persons, okay, and it just prints a group of persons, okay. So it just prints a group of persons. So what it does, it takes an array, okay, it takes the array. So what we can do is like person this or like pointer, both are the same thing in the function, okay. So it takes an array, the number of persons it has to print, okay, and then it can go for the for loop, okay, for int I is equal to 0, I is less than size I plus plus, and it can just print each and every ith person. So from 0 to size it prints every ith person, okay. So this is the like print person function. So it just takes the person pointer, okay, and just prints it, okay, the number of persons we want to get printed. Now we can have this main function. Now in this main function, what we can do, we can just have some student array, okay. So something like this, and we can have two students, okay. So the one student can be anonymous, okay, and its roll number can be, let's say, 17, and the second student can be, let's say, myself, okay, and its roll number can be 18, okay. So we have the array of student, and now because we know that we can pass this array as a pointer in any function, because it's a like C intuition, so we can just do it. And now we can we pass it to the print persons? Yes, we can. Why? Because array is of ARR is of type of student star, like student pointer, and persons is of type of person pointer, And with the C++ rule, we know that we can pass a derived pointer in the place of base pointer. It's allowed and it's totally valid. Okay, so we will start doing it. Let's do it. Okay, so how we can do it? It's very simple. Just print persons ARR, and we want to print two things. Okay, anonymous and myself. That's it. So this is what it is. And because with the intuition of C++, we can pass student pointer as a person pointer. That's totally valid and that should work. That should always work. But here it is. That is what I wanted to do. I can say it's a disaster. Let's compile it. Okay, it's got compiled. Let's just do it. And when we do it automatically in Vim, then we get only one result. Why we are getting only one result? We can show it by manual running it. Okay, so we can run it manually, and running it manually is easily /pointer. Okay, and yes, I got the segmentation fault. Why is segmentation fault in there? So segmentation fault is very easy to have. We can understand it, but let's just run this program few more times. Okay, and we are sure that at the second point we are getting the segmentation fault. But why? What is the problem? What's the problem? So let's just see the problem. We can get the problem with some sort of drawing, and I have done a lot of work in this drawing, so that's why. Okay, so okay, let me get my face cam in here. I feel alone without that face cam. Okay, so now yeah, we have the person point. We have the person. Now this is the memory layout of the person. Okay, so the two persons looks like this, and this is the memory layout of student. So two student looks like this. Why student is big? The bigger size of student is because person has the string name. That's it. The student has a string name plus int roll number. But there is something hidden also. That is the virtual table. Now the virtual table is also here. So where the virtual table can be? So for the person, the virtual table can be here and here. Okay, for the student, the virtual table can be here and here. Okay, so this is where the virtual table is. Now, if we have to do something like, let's say, I have to resolve like print function. I have to resolve the print function. So where I will search. Okay, so I will search in here. Okay, I will search in here. Okay, but in these cases I will not search here. Why I will not search here? Because I will search here. Okay, it looks complicated. Let me show you why. Okay, what is going on? So the print function, this print function, okay, it is like some complicated one. So let's just do what is exactly happening in the memory. So we will write some sort of C here. Okay, it goes like this. Exactly it is not happening. What I am gonna write is not exactly what the compiler is doing. It is gonna do in the smooth way, but I am gonna write in the C way, some sort of a hard thing. Okay, so it just takes a persons. Okay, and yeah, like this. Okay, it just takes it. Now what it does, it just in the PTR it adds size of person. Okay, to get rid of one. Okay, and this is what it is. And then what it can do is it can just cast it out, the whole thing, as the person pointer. Okay, and then it can just call the print function on there. Okay, this is only for the second element. It's not for the each and every element. It's for the second element. For each and every element, what we can do is we can just go in like this. Okay, I into size of person. Okay, so this is what it does in the memory. Okay, so this is what it does in the memory, and I think this statement explain it. Okay, so for I is equal to 1, that means for the second element it goes like this. our person star lies in the starting the person. Okay, so our person star lies in here. So starting the person is represented in this corner. Okay, so let me just remove all these things. Okay, so our starting the person lies in here because we passed student array as the pointer. As we can see, we have passed student array as the pointer. So this is what we have passed. So our start of the person lies in here. Now for the next element, it goes like it adds size of person, not the size of student, because it's a C thing. It's not a C++ thing. Okay, this raw pointers and raw pointer arithmetics are derived as like C compatible thing. So it goes in the same way. And now a size of person is added. When the size of person is added, it seems like this, and the virtual table is going to lie somewhere here. What it assumes to be. Okay, not in exactly, because the virtual table is going to lie here, but where we are going to search. And now because we are calling the print function here, we can see we are just calling this print function in here. That is what it is. So we are searching for the virtual table. Now the virtual table, where are we searching? We are searching some region in here. Okay, so we are searching some region in here, but where should we search? We should search in some this of the memory region. That is what it is going on. Okay, so because there is no virtual table lying here, we are getting a segmentation fault. This is that simple. Because now if I go into operating system that is not executable stack or something like that, I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, so that is it. So this is it. I think I would explain it one more time. Okay, because it can be tricky. We passed, okay, student pointer. Okay, that means this is passed. Okay, and then if I access another person, okay, person of 2, then it goes like student plus like size of person, that is here, and we have to search for the print function. The print function, it gets searched in the virtual table, and because we are searching as a person star, so it just assumes that our virtual table is here, and it's a search here, and that is like wrong. Our virtual table is not there, and that is why we are getting a segmentation fault. So this is the explanation what is going wrong. Okay, you can comment out if you are getting the doubt. You are still getting doubts, you can just comment out. Okay, I will be happy to resolve all those doubts. Okay, now let's just remove it. Okay, so now how can we improve it? Because we are gonna get the segmentation fault all the time. How can we improve it? And the answer is don't pass array as pointer all the time. If you are gonna get in some situation, if you are gonna not leave this habit. Okay, so don't pass it. Okay, this is the simple solution to it. Okay, so what we should do? The first step is to start using the standard things. Okay, and array is not a standard thing. It's not in the standard library. It's derived from C, and yes, it's the basic construct. We should not forget it, of course. But if we start using this higher level construct like standard library things, then we will get rid of all these errors. And here what I'm gonna do it. Okay, so instead of having an array of students, okay, let's start correcting the code. So instead of having the array of student, what we can have is having a vector of student. Okay, so for that I need vector. Okay, so I need a vector, and then I need vector of student. Okay, but vector of student is gonna be like we are not gonna do any polymorphism or something like that. We are not gonna do any sort of we are not using student as a person, the object oriented hierarchy. Okay, so this is for the demonstration. Okay, this is for the demonstration. You know how you can get to it. Okay, this is for the demonstration. What you can do, you can have a person star. Okay, and I would just call it ARR or vector, something like that. Okay, and then we can just pass some sort of okay, we can just push back some sort of students we want to push back. Okay, so let's say I want to push some sort of, oh, why I just call it this much big, VEC. Yeah, now let's just push some sort of things. Okay, so how I can push it is like this. Let's just take the first student. Okay, so st1, and what we can do is yeah, we can just take this anonymous thing. Okay, so let's just have it. Okay, and then another student. Okay, and let's say myself and all those things are 2. Okay, so and what we can do is we can just push back st1 and actually the address of st1, because it's like the it's like a pointer of persons. Okay, and then yeah, so we have the vector ready, we have this vector ready, all these things we can do. Okay, so if I get the point, what it is something like vector. Okay, vector of person star. Why person star? Because I wanted to show you the polymorphism, that we can do the polymorphism with the vectors. Okay, how you can get it? For a time being I have hard coded it. You can get it easily. This is like a simple program exercise, you can do it. I am not gonna teach you, it's not a tutorial thing, it's a disaster thing. Okay, so now let's go to the print function. The print function, it should be like now it should not get the person star. What it should be, it's something like the vector of person star. Okay, so the vector of person star, VEC, that's it. And then what we can do is we can have for okay, person star PER in VEC. Okay, the enhanced for loop we can just print that person, and now this program is totally fine. Except this typo. Yes, except this typo. Why this program is totally fine is because now we have the vector of persons. Okay, so we have the different person stars, that like different person pointers, and this is fine. Okay, this is fine, we can have different person pointer, and now accessing the first element, accessing the second element is like accessing different pointers, and then calling the print function on that pointer is something like indirectly calling the print function on the right object. Okay, and this is the solution rate. Okay, so the solution goes like this. The solution is like, stop using the naive array and all those things. You start using the library function as much as you can, because it gets you rid of all these errors. Because of course in the starting you can get some sort of compilation errors. Okay, compilation errors are good, but the runtime errors are hard to debug. Compilation errors get you, okay, this line is bad, but the runtime errors are like, this is the segmentation fault. Okay, so this is bad and we should avoid it. We should start using library function as much as we can. Here what I have done as a solution is I just took the array, okay, and I just converted it into the vector. Okay, and you can do it. You can also do it. So start using the library functions. You start using the STL library. Okay, so this is the one type of mistake we do, and this mistake is now solved. Now it doesn't matter where it is. Person, come on, yeah, this in this vector we can have this student star also. Okay, and yes, now it will not work. Okay, now it will not work. Why? Because this is like vector of student star and there is a vector of person star. Okay, those are different things, and these are type of compilation error you can have. Okay, these are easy to solve. Okay, you have to get more and more knowledge of C++ and you can resolve it. And because you know where the error is. Now you know where the error is, but what about the segmentation fault? You just don't know where the error is, and you will have to get to these type of memory layouts and all those things that are hard to debug. So that's why we should start using the high level things, and this tutorial or this disaster is just for it. Okay, this is the starting of modern C++. We'll start with the modern C++. We'll start with all these errors. We are gonna leave the new things. We are gonna do with the advanced things, and yes, without a very less overhead, we're gonna get out of these errors. Now the last thing, without these vectors and all those things, also we can resolve it. Okay, that is true, but yes, it's hard to do. That is my point, is it's error prone. You are human, you can do mistakes. Okay, you are human, you can do mistakes, and using all these things you are avoiding it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna teach you how you can avoid mistakes. Okay, how you can avoid mistakes, how C++ can help you avoid mistakes. Okay, I'm not gonna teach you how you can remember all the time all the rules and you just don't make mistakes, because that's not possible. You are human. So I just hope you enjoy the video. I just hope you learned something. I just hope it's helpful. See you guys next time.